Good morning, everyone. You are live with Johnathan Maness, aka the One-Leg Bandit, and today is a special day. I am sharing my studio today with CEO of Yankaddy, Miss Christy Myers. I've got some other great news I want to let everyone know that's watching me and been a part of the series. My son was just appointed to class of 2025 U.S. Air Force Academy. I am so proud and so happy, and I'm just ecstatic right now, just full of life. That boy has worked so hard for 7 years to achieve his goal. He turned down a full scholarship to Clemson to go to Marion Military Institute for a year and continued to grind and was just appointed yesterday. So everybody share some love with me today. It's Friday. I've got an excellent product I'm going to share with you today. You may have never heard about it before, but it definitely cuts down on infection. And the story, everybody knows I love the story. Christy has been through so much building her brand and her company, and I just love sharing stories like this. So I'm going to show you a quick video, and after the video, we'll be back together.
Do you find yourself constantly sticking your Yankaddy suction instrument under your patient's pillow or hanging it over medical equipment only to have it fall to the floor just when you need it? Multiple studies strongly suggest that environmental contamination plays an important role in the transmission of many healthcare-associated infections. A Yankaddy is a holster that gives a medical provider a place to store the Yankaddy suction before, during, and after its use. With the Yankaddy, there's no more worrying about your Yankaddy or your medical environment becoming contaminated. It is specifically designed to help reduce the 1.7 million patients affected every year by healthcare-associated infections in the U.S. The Yankaddy was designed with a disposable lid liner that snaps into the reusable holster. Now you can place your Yankaddy suction instrument into the lid liner where it can be stored safely and used on a patient by simply pulling the Yankaddy out with one hand and reinserting it without contaminating the workplace environment. The holster features a hole in the front to clamp off the suction to the Yankaddy and allows the user to keep the suction on so it is ready to be used at a moment's notice. When you are finished using the Yankaddy suction, you simply pull the Yankaddy and the disposable lid liner out of the holster and discard them together. The Yankaddy snaps onto its specially designed reusable bracket that gives the user the option to attach it to multiple surfaces, including IV poles, bed rails, countertops, and other medical equipment. This feature adds safety and convenience to the use of the Yankaddy by having it where you need it, when you need it, putting infection control at your fingertips.
Good morning, Christy. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing great, Johnathan. How are you?
Doing wonderful. So as you could hear in the intro, I'm just so excited today. Today is a great day. Everybody loves Fridays anyway, but I'm so glad to have you here with us. Please, Christy, tell everyone a little bit about yourself and about the Yankaddy.
Well, I have been a nurse since the early 90s. I started out at a level 1 trauma center in Memphis, Tennessee. And as just an ER nurse, noticed a problem with the Yankaddy and not having anywhere to put it. We would stick it under the patient's pillow. It would fall on the floor. We would pick it up and use it. And so, 26 years ago or more, I thought, this is a problem. Why is nobody fixing this problem? So time goes on, and I went back to school and got my master's degree and became a nurse anesthetist in the early 2000s and began traveling as a nurse anesthetist all over about 10 states. And I found this problem everywhere. It wasn't just as in the ER or when I was an ICU nurse. Now as a nurse anesthetist, it's a problem every day. Every time we use a Yankaddy, there's nowhere to put it. So we stick this bloody or has secretions on it, Yankaddy, we stick it everywhere. It just contaminates the whole workplace environment. And about 5.5 years ago, I finally settled down in the Daytona Beach area and decided that I was tired of the problem. So I decided I was going to try to help come up with a product that could help fix the problem. So I started creating the Yankaddy. And I spent probably 6 months doing prototypes at home, just kind of not really telling anyone about it, but just putting things together. I'd go to Home Depot, I'd go to Lowe's, I'd go to Michael's, I'd pick up the things I used for my first prototypes are actually quite comical, like bouquet holders and garbage disposal flapper trapper things. It's but things went on, and glue helped, and tape, and I finally came up with what I felt like would be a product that could be used everywhere that the Yankars use, not just in the operating room where I work now, but in the ER, in ambulances, in ICUs, and in procedure areas, in surgery centers, everywhere the Yankars use. There's a little bit of a different setting. So my biggest concern was having something that could be used everywhere, for the Yankar, so it wasn't just fixing a problem in one little place. So I spent a lot of time getting the product, designed. And then I spent about a year doing patent work and finding a manufacturer. And that turned out to be a really lengthy and costly process. And after about 5 years, I had everything finally ready, invested all my own money into the company, worked as a nurse anesthetist to fund the company. I'm totally self-funded, single woman owned business, just trying to, fix a problem that I have seen everywhere. So I finally got everything ready, have a manufacturer here in the United States. In fact, about an hour and a half from my house, in Daytona. They're in Ocala, Florida. So I wanted it to be made in the US. That was a really big thing for me. I did not want to go overseas for this. So whether I paid more, I don't know. I didn't even check overseas. I didn't even want to go there. So it is being made in the USA, and I got everything ready to go the beginning of last year. And we're getting distributors and getting my product seen in hospitals and surgery centers, and then COVID hit. So yeah.
And COVID has been hurting a lot of folks, just by not even being able to get these new products out. And that's what, of course, Maness Veteran Medical focuses on, bringing the highest quality products to the VA and DoD every day. And I know people just heard the 5-6 minutes that Christy just poured into this, but that is her life's work. Okay, she sat there, she saw a problem. It's a why problem. She took her time, put a solution together, and made this. So that's the type of people that Maness Veteran Medical is going to partner with any day of the week. Whenever you put your love and your heart into something, to making something, it just, you can just see the difference. And what I want to let you know is I've tried the Yankaddy. I've got plenty of sample kits. Anybody at a VA or DoD facility sends me an email that wants to try this product out, I will send it to you free of charge. I just want to get this out in front of people. So Maness Veteran Medical is here and stands beside Christy. But I just want everybody to take note. Being a woman-owned small business and believing in your product and driving and trial and error, you can get to the end goal. It took her. How many years did it take you, Christy, to get this where you can sell the product?
It's getting close to 6. Yeah, getting close to 6 years now.
And 6 years, sometimes it's quicker, sometimes it's longer like this. But I know that the end for Christy, especially once COVID and working here with Maness Veteran Medical and just getting the word out now. She's at the getting the word out phase. And everyone knows Maness Veteran Medical is not greedy at all. I want any prime vendor, any big player that sees this to reach out to Christy directly. Her email is in the comments. She's standing by. This product is ready to go. This will stop infections and just help on infection transmission, just by not sticking the Yankauer device under the pillow and things of that matter. So please reach out to Christy and show her some love and help a small woman-owned business grow. So continue on, Christy. Tell a little more about the process. So you got it now; it's ready to sell. But where are you at right now in that process?
I have some places that are definitely using the product that I got the product into before COVID hit. When salespeople could actually walk into a hospital. So I have it in a couple of big hospitals. I've got it in several surgery centers. There's that's where then COVID kind of stopped me. So I have customers, so I'm ready. We have inventory in Ocala. They're geared up and ready to go. It's just a matter of getting the word out there and getting this seen. I know that a lot of facilities, well, all facilities have the people that come in like JACO and it's called different things for different facilities, but the accreditation, Medicare, they come in and they see the yank hour in its nice little neat package, which is great, but this is not where it ends up being when it's being used. And I think the more that my product gets out there and gets seen by these accreditation people, they're going to realize that it's, it was a problem that they just never saw. When they come into our facility, we try to get everything all neat and clean. And I've just always felt like if I could get this in enough places where they see it and they see the yank hour in this container, keeping, everything clean around it and being used, they're going to realize that it's, something that we should do everywhere.
Let's let everyone know, what are some of the problems? What is happening with the Yankauer device that made you think of this idea?
Well, when we use this, this is the Yankaddy, this is it in the package. Everybody tries to use the package. Like 99.99% of people try to use this package to keep it stored in. And once it's opened, it doesn't, anybody that uses the Yankauer knows this, it doesn't stay in the package because it's basically just an open bag now, and it ends up falling out because it's hooked to the suction tubing and it pulls and it ends up just coming right. And this is just a flimsy little package. So this ends up being seriously on the floor. As an ER nurse, I will tell you that it gets picked up. And even as a nurse anesthetist, if I have this falls on the floor and my patient is aspirating, I'm going to pick it up off the floor and use it. I mean, that's just a fact. It's a matter of life and death. But that is what happens. There's nowhere to put this to secure it because they got this long tubing that's going to the suction canister, either on wheels or on the wall or something that pulls this light little Yankauer suction instrument. It's light, so it pulls it away. And so we shove it under pillows. We set it on our patient's chest. We shove it under the mattress. We lay it over our equipment. We'll like kind of hook it over our anesthesia machine, where the contaminated end that's been in the patient's mouth now is now touching everything. Anything it touches, it's like basically like having your toothbrush out there and just rubbing everything down with it. So it's not only not clean for the environment, but it's also not clean for the patient because I'm probably going to be putting this back in their mouth. This gets used more than once, usually on a patient, especially in a situation like me in the operating room or in an emergency room where they might be vomiting or something, or just any kind of ER or anything. It gets used more than once. We have to keep it. We don't just use it and throw it away. We use it and we need it right there by us so that we can use it again when we need it. So that's kind of why we keep it close by, but that might be on the counter or, shoved under the pillow. And it just, like I said, it's like basically like coming in and spreading your toothbrush around.
Yeah, I know that with a lot of the other BPA lines that I have, like Surgilube and things that matter, everything's going to even ultrasound gel. At the VA, everybody wants single-use packets. Okay, this makes perfect sense. This comes with the liner, so after each use or every time you're done using the Yankauer on that individual patient, you can throw it away, right?
Correct. So this is the disposable liner. So when you get it, this is the disposable part. Get in the middle of the camera here. So this is what the actual Yankauer goes into. So this is what it looks like, not in the container, the holster. So this is the holster, and it just snaps right into the holster. So it actually becomes its lid. So there we go. So it just snaps right onto the to the holster like that. So now it's ready to be used with the Yankauer. Stick that in there, and then it clips onto. We have two different brackets. This is the first one that we came up with because it's a spring clamp and it can be attached to basically anything, an IV pole, countertop, bed rail, depending on where you are in your facility. It can also it swivels, so you can actually have it clamped onto something and orient it. And even at this angle, the Yankauer won't just fall out because the little teeth in there kind of hold it in. But it's also easy to pull it out if you need, when you need it. and then you just put it right back in. So you use it, take it out on the patient, put it right back in. And
So
then when
all
you're
my
done,
VAs that's watching this, everybody knows right now. Everybody knows that you need this device, this product. You definitely need it. I challenge everyone, any VA, any VOD, go ahead and email me, email Christy today. Let's get one out to you. I mean, you know, if we can stop one infection, if we can do, you never know what you can do, you know. But I know that the VA is focused on this. Let's go ahead and give Christy some love and get this product moving. I mean, poured her life into it 6 years. All it takes is just the right person seeing it. So I know that I have people on my LinkedIn, may not be watching me live right now, but as this travels through the feed, please share this and let everyone know about this product. And Christy, I think it's outstanding. Isn't it awesome when you're sitting here really thinking about how far you've come from start to finish where you are now?
Yeah, it's actually a relief that I've made it through all those steps and I don't have to go back to those steps again. And those were very difficult steps. I thought anesthesia school was difficult. Nothing like finding a manufacturer who can actually do your product and make it look like you wanted it to look like. That was a really big challenge. I just wanted to mention, since you had mentioned about, just at least saving one person from getting an infection. Everybody knows that healthcare associated infections are just, they're huge. They kill, you know, close to 100,000 people a year in the United States, just in the United States, not even worldwide, but just here in the US. And people don't, we talk about the flu killing people and of course COVID, and I'm not downplaying that at all, but this doesn't get talked about. And 1 out of 4 people have been affected by a healthcare associated infection, either themselves or somebody they know, a close family member or close friend. Everybody knows somebody who's had one, and it kills people, and it costs, just for the care of one patient with a healthcare associated infection, can cost anywhere between $15,000 and $45,000. That's a big expense, plus the fact they could lose their life. But when you're talking about, being able to put this product into every place the Yankaddy is used in your facility for pennies compared to that, and the fact that it could save somebody's life, and probably would, I think that puts it in perspective. It's definitely a known fact that the Yankaddy itself does cause infections.
Absolutely. Tell me something, Christy. What is some of the other uses? I believe we were speaking earlier. Didn't you find some other uses for the Yankaddy?
Yes, actually, these other uses actually came up from customers using it and feedback, because I am a small company and I'm starting out. I have always encouraged them to give me feedback and let me know if there's anything I can do to improve it. If there's, anything that they're using it for that I might not even be aware of its use. So things have come up during that. And we've improved the product actually because of the feedback that we've gotten from some of these places. One thing is we ended up putting a hole in the front of this because nobody likes to hear the suction noise. It's annoying, but you want your suction on because you need to have it ready. So this actually is for the suction hose. So you can actually have the suction on and ready to go. And then all you have to do is pull it out and it's ready to use. We also changed the color of the lid. Used to be clear that matched this. Now it's blue, to differentiate between what's disposable and what's not, because there were some places that were actually throwing out the holster as well, and they didn't need to. This gets cleaned just like the other equipment in the room, like your EKG cables and everything else that you wipe down or spray down, as well as the clamps too get sprayed down or wiped down. So this is, we wanted this to be very clear that this is the part to throw away. And another thing that ended up coming from that was in one of the ICUs that uses the product, the Yankaddy is good for 24 hours when you open it up for that particular patient. So they will write on here the date and time that they actually opened it and began to use it on that patient, so they can actually keep up with when they need to discard this with the Yankaddy. And that was something that there is no other way to keep up with that. Nobody has ever kept up with the fact that you are only supposed to use it for 24 hours. It's always been a guessing game. Like, I don't know, I think I opened it yesterday sometime. I'll just get a new one. or you're using 4 or 5 new ones when you didn't need to for that patient because you don't know when it was opened. Change of shifts. They don't know when if there was never anything written down about when the yank hour began to be used for that patient, then a lot of people will just throw it out. So there's a lot of waste, 3 or 4 or 5 different yank hours in a day to get thrown out because nobody knows if they're clean or not. This has helped the ICU in that cost of not throwing away so many yank hours, which is close to the cost of one of the lid liners. So, they're not, they're disposable, but you shouldn't be throwing them out if you don't need to. Another thing that is being used is the oral care kits that the ICU uses that for their oral care, that little toothbrush that goes onto their suction. So they're actually putting that into the Yankaddy along with it. It fits, both the yank hour and, for instance, their little suction tools that they use for the mouth care. So they're actually putting more than one thing in here, and it holds it just fine. Even an NG tube, when patients have NG tubes, if there's not the anti-flux valve on some of them, which some of them are not, it ends up leaking all over the patient's pillow. You can actually clamp this right to the bed at the head and stick the NG tube. Also the 14 French, if you're suctioning out a patient, in their mouth or their nose, you can also put that in there. That's totally flimsy. And I know, like when I'm doing tonsils or something, I use those on my kids, the 14 French catheters to suction their mouth out because it's just not as they have small mouths and this is kind of big, and they 100% of the time go on the floor because they're very, very flimsy. They weigh nothing, so that suction, when you hook it to this suction tubing that's really thick and big, it pulls this ends up on the floor almost every time. So to have support.
I can tell you, Christy, look, I've been in a lot of VAs, hundreds or maybe thousands. I don't know for the exact number, but let me tell you something, okay? You've got a home run, all right? It's period. I know you do. It's just the eyes haven't seen it yet. What an outstanding, thing that you've done here, okay? We at Maness Veteran Medical, whenever the shows start back up, the SDVOSB shows and any type of woman-owned shows, I'm going to get that information to you. All we got to do is just keep grinding. COVID will hopefully go away here. It is a very serious thing going on, but hopefully we can get herd immunity or something coming up in the near future. I know that elective surgeries are starting back in the VA in the next month or two. So, things are about to flip around, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing rocking and rolling. Everyone that is watching, please subscribe to Johnathan Maness YouTube because it helps spread the word and the love for the folks that I'm working with. All it takes is just a few times of sharing, and then everybody knows what's going on. So please, Johnathan Maness, subscribe and share. So let's talk about this, Chrissy. How is it packaged, and how do you sell it at this moment? What's your different packages?
The disposable lid liners are sold in they're 100. So it comes packaged. There's two different bags in the box with 50 in each, and it's got like a drawstring. So what I have found in the surgery centers and hospitals where I work, where it's being used, most of the time these are actually taken out and put with the yank hours, so that when they need a new yank hour, they actually have one of these right next to it. So they're usually dispersed like the yank hours are. The brackets and so these are the non-disposable parts, and it's either bracket. This is the bracket that I'll talk about in just a second, but this is the suction cup bracket. So these are sold in units of 10 each. So you would get 10 of these and 10 of these, either bracket, one, whichever one you needed for your facility. So these come that way. They also, we also do have trial packs where you would get one holster and one bracket, depending on which one you need, and 5 of the disposable lid liners. So the trial pack is one bracket, one holster, and 5 of the disposable lid liners. So you can try it out in a couple different, at least 5 different patients you can try it out with. So, and I have done, smaller orders for smaller facilities. I work with people on that, but that's how it's packaged. But
Beautiful.
I have done less for very small facilities who just didn't need that many.
Anybody requesting this from Maness Veteran Medical, we'll be sending out the trial pack, correct, Christy? That's what we're
Yes,
doing.
correct.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the trial pack. We'll get you going. You'll see it, and after that, you just order from Maness Veteran Medical, and we'll get it right out to you if you're a VA or DoD. Again, any of the big boys out there, y'all are listening. I know you're listening. Y'all are always watching Maness because you're wondering what's going on here with Maness. But what's going on is I get down to the root of everything. I find out who's doing the right thing, and we stick with them. I want you to reach out to Christy. It's time for Christy to grow. She's paid her dues. 6 years is a grind, and she's got a wonderful product. So everybody reach out to Christy, and let's lift her up. So Christy, we've had a wonderful talk here. We're at 27 minutes. I want you to close the show here. Any last words you want to talk about, maybe the future where you want Yankaddy to go, or just your closing words of what you see the future like for yourself?
Well, I like I said before, I continue to work as a nurse anesthetist. I work usually 3 days a week, and then I work on my business the other couple days of the week. I'm just waiting for the day that it gets seen and gets out there. I know when people see it and start to use it. I haven't had anybody stop using it. That's not happened. I've been getting reorders from all of my customers that I had. There's nobody who used it and just said this just isn't working out. I have had other people use a competition, basically the only other product out there that would even hold a yank hour, but it's a cup and it doesn't hold it in very well. They didn't like it. Actually, I've gotten customers just because they used the other product and they didn't like it. They couldn't move it anywhere. So there is a little competition out there, but it's just not it was not designed with everything that I've thought about in like where it can be placed. And so hopefully this will be something that can be used everywhere and can help save from infections because, they're rampant. And I mean, this would help with COVID. If it could get in there and they could see it, the places that are using it now are like, this is just a lifesaver. So it's just getting it out there as soon as COVID opens up, breaks through and things start opening back up and we can start living again. I think that it'll take off. And, I see my future bright. I wouldn't have been able to get through the past 6 years if I was going to give up. So I
agree. And I don't know what the future might hold for you, but I believe somebody's going to come buy this product from you if it's for sale. If it's not, I ride it all the way to the top. But somebody's coming with a check. So just keep grinding. We've done a great job of getting the word out today. Again, any VA or DoD facility that wants to try this product, Maness Veteran Medical will pay for it to be shipped to you. We'll ship it tomorrow, today. It doesn't matter. Just send me an email. Let me know the contact, the address you want it sent to, and we'll get the sample pack out there so you can try it. Besides that, Christy, I just want to say thank you so much for your time and for partnering with Maness Veteran Medical and believing in SDVOSB. We're proud to be your official SDVOSB, and we're going to be here for you no matter what. So we're, like I told you from the beginning, it doesn't happen overnight with the VA. Things are slow with the VA. I mean, half the time they don't even know what's going on, but we're going to grow together and get you in the right places. So again, Christy, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you for your work too.
You're welcome. We're going to share this out. After this video, we're going to share it amongst everyone. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. Have a great day.
So again, everyone, that was Christy Myers, CEO of Yankaddy, and woman-owned small business, just come up with an idea, built everything herself, and now is ready to be sold. And just like other products that I've showed, the Q2 solution, just so many different products out there that nurses that deal with this stuff every single day create on their own to make their lives better and to help infection and to help just every nurse that's out there. And like she said, listen to the keywords. All right. The keywords that she said is everyone that I've placed, I've never had someone not reorder. Okay. To all my big guys out there, that sounds like money. That's exactly what you're looking for. You got to reach out to Christy today. I'm right there with her. We're going along the ride together, and whatever it is, it is. But you know, I want her success no matter what. That's what matters to me, because I've learned that being Maness Veteran Medical, being Johnathan Maness, being the One Leg Bandit, you cannot do anything in this world without helping someone and working together to get to the common goal. What comes around goes around in this world. Sometimes you take your lumps and you're not even expecting it, but I'm telling you, doing the right thing, you never have to worry about it, okay? And that's what we do here at Maness Veteran Medical. We do the right thing every single day. Again, more love. I got to throw this out again. My son, Christopher, works here at Maness Veteran Medical behind the scenes doing all this cool stuff with the website, with, you know, just marketing, just outstanding. Just got his appointment to the Air Force Academy. I am the proudest person on the planet right now, along with his mother. And we are just excited as a family right now, and just hoping for wonderful things. So thank everybody for tuning in. Please share and subscribe, Johnathan Maness YouTube. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you again this weekend. I'm going to do some talk about minority-owned small business. Please check that out. Monday. And Monday, Wednesday, I definitely have live streams. Oh, Tuesday as well. So next week is pretty full. We're going to be doing live streams all next week. But thank you very much for your time. Have a wonderful day, everybody.